Well, indeed, in the European Union, the artificial intelligence topic has been quite of interest, with the AI being adopted last year and put into force at the beginning of August. So this regulation, what is worth mentioning is that it is legally binding in all the 27 member states, with some of the provisions entering into force at different times over the next few years. Of course, it also started a conversation around the Brussels effect, which was already begun with the GDPR, but now I guess it's going to be a bit more complicated, at least for this hour in my time here in Brussels. But I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the AI Act and the timeline that is quite important to have in mind. So first of all is that the AI Act is structured on a risk-based approach. So what it means is that it regulates AI technologies on the basis of risks to the health, safety, and fundamental rights of individuals raised by the use of these AI systems. The regulation prohibits certain uses of AI systems that raise unacceptable risks and sets rules on the development and deployment of all other AI systems, depending on whether they qualify as high, low, or minimum risk. The regulation also addresses the systemic risk posed by the general purpose AI models, with great focus on high-risk AI systems. Well, as I mentioned, the provisions of the AI Act have different deadlines for entering into force over the next few years. So let me walk you a bit through the main points only. The publication date into the official journal of the European Union, which was the 12th of July, 2024, and entering into force at the beginning of August, exactly 20 days later, marks the 24-month countdown of activities towards the full effect and enforcement. Interestingly, the first deadline was already in November, with the member states having to identify their fundamental rights authorities according to Article 77. The next date to keep in mind is the 2nd of February, when the prohibitions of this year, when the prohibitions on certain AI systems and requirements on AI literacy start to apply. And by May, the AI office will have to publish a code of practice for general purpose AI. Now, to give you a bit some information, very brief information here, the Commission has already provided some updates on the second draft of the GPAI code of practice, which is collecting feedback until tomorrow. And we're going to have hopefully a third draft by mid-February, but this is something that is ongoing in the discussion. This code, which is worth mentioning, is that it is designed to be future-proof, particularly for models released after the 2nd of August, which takes me to the next point on the timeline, because on the 2nd of August, we are going to have new rules under the AI Act that are going to take effect. So we're going to look at the rules on the GPA models, governance, confidentiality, penalties that are going to start applying then. To finalize my timeline presentation, I hope it was rather brief, but I wanted to make note of the fact that the bulk of these provisions of the AI Act will be in full force after the 2nd of August this year, with member states having the deadline to designate their national competent authorities and communicate them to the Commission. Also, what's important is that member states will have to lay down rules for penalties and fines by this date as well. As for the rest of the AI Act, well, it will start to apply only in August next year, in 2026, with the exception of the provisions referring to the classification rules for high-risk AI systems, which are laid down in one of the provisions, specifically in Article 6, paragraph 1.